We don't realize how so many things are intertwined and so related. It's not just Trump just trying to win and cheat. It relates to Florida and felons. It relates to so many other different things. And that's why I wanted to kind of continue our conversation that we're having about voter registration and how important it is. Because a lot of people, when we talk about voter registration, like they just center on Trump. All right, well, I don't like either one. It ain't we ain't voting just Trump and Biden.
Right.
We got a whole list of stuff that we're voting on, and it's important that we do what we need to do from a voter registration standpoint and do that. September is National Voter Registration Month, and I think we got a pretty good guest on hand. She actually just wrapped up some time on Elizabeth Warren's campaign. She was the director of community organizing there for that campaign, and now she's actually director of leadership development over at coworker.org. I want to welcome to the show somebody real smarter than us on politics and stuff. Kortni Malone. Hey, Court, what's going on?
Hi, hey y'all, what's going on? I don't know if I'm smarter than anybody on politics. It's changing every day.
Well,
here.
Right. So part of the work that you're doing now is helping people who are dealing with things like going to work and having to deal with their boss not giving them protection on COVID.
Yeah, 100%. I think, honestly, I was listening to you all talk about Breonna Taylor and the case down there. And I think, it is heartbreaking, but it is not surprising. And I think that the folks who are feeling apathetic about voting, the folks who are feeling upset about voting, like, I will not blame them. I do not blame them.
Yeah.
And there is something that we need to be able to admit, I think. And I think that truth is that it is systemic and it is institutional, the racism and the oppression that we're experiencing. And if we set our expectations to expect justice from a system and an institution that is rotten at its core, we continue to be disappointed. And I think, some people stop there and say, okay, well, if I can't expect nothing out of this, then I'm not going to participate. Right. And I think that's the issue, because, okay, this is true, but what's also true is that we are living and breathing within the system. Right. And so we have to have what I like to call a tiered strategy.
Right.
And that needs to involve both exercising, our rights within the system. And the biggest right that we have is to vote. Is to try to put people into power that we believe we can hold accountable to our issues. And that's the difference. I think, voting is they treat it like a sport. So we're trying to get behind the best player, the one that we like the most. But I think that's the wrong perspective. I think when you think about voting, you're trying to think about, who can I push?
Yeah.
Most likely to be pushed on issues that matter to me.
Yep.
Who's most likely to be pushed on those things? That's who I need to get into office. And I think that is the thing that people need to remember when they're thinking about, I hate the system sucks, Trump sucks, Biden sucks. Cool, you're right. Also, we're still living in this system. And so what is our strategy? And I think part of that, I think Angela Davis, she was on the Red Table Talk, and she said it best. She was like, we need to be strategic about who's in office, because that's one tier of our strategy. So one tier is, okay, vote in people who are accountable to us, or who are most likely to be pushed to be accountable to us. And then the other tier of that strategy is to continue to manifest the dismantling of these systems. We got to do both. Folks who are like anarchists tear it down, and folks who are like vote or die need to come in the same room,
right,
and recognize that these are both, I think, tiers of a Black agenda and a Black strategy for liberation.
Definitely. Kortni, let me ask you something. What would you say to the person out there that is undecided as far as voting, or is saying, oh, voting isn't going to make a difference?
I would remind them that change is not absolute. Change is incremental. With respect to the reality that we didn't get rid of slavery in one election year, with respect to the reality that we didn't get our voting rights in one election year, you have to understand that the moral arc of justice has to bend towards, the moral arc of history has to bend towards justice, but it doesn't bend on its own. We pull it down. One way to pull it down is with our vote. That's one way, and it's the lowest lever. I'm not even asking you for much.
Right.
But it's a house.
Right.
And I think if you're undecided about voting just in and of itself, then that's the thing to think about is like, I want absolute change. I want liberation for my people. And I'm pissed about the system, but I'm also a part of it. I'm living in it. And so part of my strategy needs to be like, incrementally, what can I do? Incrementally, I can cast a ballot for somebody that I can push on the liberation that I'm seeking.
Yep.
I think that's for the person who's like, I don't know if I will vote. And then for the person who's unsure about who to vote for.
Yep. Right. At this point,
voting for Trump. And I think that I would say, you know, even if I can't put like the liberation of Black people in the hands of Joe Biden. I'm not expecting that actually, but I'm expecting someone who's going to put some systems in place to help us manage the coronavirus. I'm expecting someone who is going to put justices on the court system, who will rule in favor of cases like Breonna Taylor's and others. I'm expecting to put someone in office who is going to legislate in a way that makes it easier.
Yeah.
And makes the like system more susceptible to our fights, makes the system more elastic, gives us more room to keep going.
Right. I love it. I love it. So I really appreciate you joining us on the show, Kortni. To wrap up in closing, let's kind of make it plain for some of the folks, because I know they hear and are talking, maybe we're going a little bit above where their head are. So let's make it plain. Like me voting for the right person that's going to benefit my life positively. What can that get me? One of the things that you're working for in the organization is you do a lot at Coworker with helping people get better environments at work. So just rattle off just a couple of the initiatives that Coworker's doing.
I mean, first of all, if I'm working and there's a pandemic and it's either my life and my safety or my paycheck, put somebody in office who's going to protect both, who's going to protect your paycheck and who's going to protect your life. That's what's on the ballot. That's on the hazard pay is on the ballot. What else is on the ballot? Paid time off in addition to hazard pay is on the ballot. I think, you know, how corporate accountability looks when it comes to like discrimination and defending the lives of Black people, that's on the ballot. I think just the court system is on the ballot. I said
Breonna Taylor, everything.
Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, all of these folks who were saying, people who are saying we want justice in the courts. Well, that's on the ballot. So you need to. I think, you know, our ability to walk down the street and not get harassed. Who's going to deal with like crazy white supremacists? Who's going to deal with that?
Yeah.
We need somebody
who's going to deal with it.
It's so much. That's right. What we say.
Are we going to fan those flames or are we going to put them holes out? Like, what are we going to do?
Right.
I think
I'm trying to get some water. I'm trying to get water.
Water's
I'm trying to get some water and douse some of this white supremacy and racism out. And that's what I tell people. If you can't find something to like in Biden, well, like something in Kamala. If you can't like something in Kamala, like something in that Black woman that he's already told us he's going to put on the Supreme Court, within the court system. So find something to like.
And I mean, I would take that a step further. Like, you don't have to like anything in the people. Like what their position in office will represent for what's possible. Like the possibilities that come from putting these folks in office.
Like removing these student loans.
Get rid of student loans.
Hey, Kortni,
everybody. All these things are on the ballot.
Everything.
Yeah, Kortni, we really appreciate you joining us today. Tell everybody how they can get in contact with you. What's your social media handle?
Oh my gosh, don't get in contact with me. No, I'm just kidding.
That's what I say.
I'm on Facebook with this name that maybe you saw on the screen. I'm not sure. You should see it. Kortni Malone. I think there's a D in between. I'm also on Twitter, Kortni_Malone. And those are probably the best ways to talk politics with me. My Instagram is for all things Black Girl Magic and Fierce.
No doubt.
Awesome.
_K Fierce, FIERCE.
Got it.
There it is. There it is. Everyone, this is Kortni Malone from coworker.org. We really appreciate you, sister, for joining us on the show. Thank you so much. And God bless for everything you do.
All right.
Thank
Appreciate
you
it,
so
sis.
much. Thanks
Love
for
you.
having me, y'all.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
All right.
She was cool, said that was some good information
Yeah,
right
she's
there.
dope. Yeah, she's dope. And I so badly wanted her to have a permanent job with Elizabeth Warren because in my perfect world, Elizabeth Warren would still be the candidate running for president
I know.
now. But y'all wouldn't listen to me.
Yeah, you were an Elizabeth Warren stan. Like you definitely stand for her. But
Right.
we still have something good with Kamala.
Oh yeah, that's who I'm rolling with because black girl in this White House. So that's what we trying to do.
All day, bro.